Hello everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder and thank you for joining me today. With Pink Floyd being back in the public spotlight, I thought we'd take a look at their Immersion box set for the wall. Now the original album came out in 1979 and was produced by Bob Ezrin and is famous for tracks like Comfortably Numb, Run Like Hell, and of course the all-time classic Another Brick in the Wall. The album is also of note because it was the last album to feature Rick Wright on keyboards before he was reinstated in 1987. This was due to a lawsuit between Roger Waters and the other two members, Nick Mason and David Gilmour, but once that was resolved, he was back in the band. In 1982, this album was famously turned into a feature film, and over the years, the album has sold over 23 million copies just in the US alone, making it one of the all-time best-selling albums for Floyd, along with Dark Side of the Moon. This is the original album art for it. And this came out in 2012, a remastered edition that has the double album, but it also has a bonus disc of highlights of demos that come from this box set. And we'll get into the two discs that are in this box set, but I wanted to show you this very quickly, just because it's very cool the way that they did this Digipack release for this with the art on it. And I'll flip this around now so that you can see all of the art together that's done by Gerald Scarfe. But the reason that this is also of interest is that, as I said, that being the original album art, this box set had new art done, compiled from those drawings by Gerald Scarfe. And so there's the spine to this. And while the back of it is plain like that, it did come with this on the back of it so that you know what you're getting, explaining all of the stuff and sort of showing you the memorabilia in it. This, like the other Immersion box sets, is a good hard cardboard. This one's got nice glossy print with the art going around it. And then it just lifts right off the top. And it shows you what you've got on the inside of it here. And we'll go through that now. So like the other boxes, Wish You Were Here, Dark Side of the Moon, you do get some similar type things. You get the coasters, which spell out Pink Floyd. This one does not have art on the back side like the Dark Side of the Moon. I was a little disappointed by that because that made it so much more interesting getting that extra art. Then you get a series of these three marbles like the other boxes have, but these have the wall imprints on it. You get three of those and they go in this nice velvet bag. And then you do get a scarf with the wall print on it. And a credits book itself, just telling you know who produced and what's on what tracks and that kind of stuff. So you get that. And then starting with some of the other memorabilia stuff, there's these three envelopes. And the first one here is sort of what I call trading cards. It's got these art prints and things, and then the back side it's got informational stuff, and each of the box sets came with those, and so these being specific to the wall. And then you do get this. You get a really cool die-cut ticket, looking like a cutout from the wall. And then a backstage pass, and the pass itself is fabric, so it's got a nice tactile feel to it. It's not just printed on paper. Then there's these really cool hand-drawn sketches that were for the stage production of it. All right. And then we've got, there we go, 4 additional ones. Very cool. There you go. Right. And then there's this really large poster that's in there that mimics the album art, well, or the album sleeve, I should say, from the vinyl. This is how the original lyrics were done. So you do get that reproduction here as a poster, very large indeed, single-sided. And then there's this cool cardstock art print that you can have framed, very well done on nice solid cardstock paper. And then there's 2 books that this comes with. Let's take a look at the first one here. This is the front side. And then there's the back side of it. Now this one here is more specifically holding their lyrics and things like that in it, and then having this art along with it. that. Right, there you go. And more stuff with the lyrics, but having the interspersion of the art and things in it is pretty cool, and shots from the live show make it just that much more interesting as you're going through that. And then this other book here, which has more stuff from the actual live show itself. Cool live shots. It's got concert screen film images. Just a whole slew of stuff like that. It's got the cool puppetry and everything in it. Okay, when the box came, the 4 discs that are in the back of this actually came in these individual cardboard sleeves. But that's really due to the fact that as through shipping and stuff, usually they get loose and fall around, but I took them out and popped them in the way they're intended to in the back side of this box. Now the top 2 are the full album itself, the double album, studio, and then the bottom is a live show of the full performance of The Wall from one of the only known live recordings of it during the tour in '81 when they toured for that. But then you also get these 3 additional discs here for this. And this is what's of particular note or interest for the box, in my opinion, are these demos that it comes with. And so discs 5 and 6 are a series of Roger Waters and band demos. And on the first disc number 5, there's 41 demos, and on disc 6, there are 23 demos. But what's of particular interest is how they're done. So they're actually organized in what's called programs, and the programs, they would actually record as full tracks, then edit them together, fade them in and out, and put them in different track listings in order to hear how the potential album could sound and what the running order could be. So they do mix that up and change that around. And so the first program on here, tracks 1 through 22, are Roger Waters' original demos. And that's a bit short, it's only about 14 minutes long there, but it really gives you an insight into what this album was like or sounded like when it was first brought to the band. Then program 2 is Roger Waters and band demos, and program 3 are band demos. Then on disc 6, it's there's the 4 programs, but the first one is Roger Waters and band demos. Then program 2 is band demos. Program 3 is also band demos. But program 4 is of interest because there are David Gilmour's original demos for his songs Comfortably Numb and Run Like Hell. So that's pretty cool. And then the 7th and final disc is a DVD disc. There's the back side of it. And it's got The Happiest Days of Our Lives, a live performance from Earl's Court in 1980. Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, the promotional video, which was restored in 2011, making it much better quality. And then you've got the Behind the Wall documentary, a 55-minute documentary that's really good, and an interview with the artist Gerald Scarfe. So you do get all of that. And the overall box set, these 7 discs, I felt, well, I was able to pick this up off Amazon for 75 bucks. So I felt that for the 7 discs, the 2 demos, or discs of demos, plus the DVD and the documentary on it, I thought was completely worth it for that. The live show that's on here, the discs 3 and 4, that's the live concert, was previously released in the early 2000s. It's not available currently other than in this box, but you may have that. So initially I had a little hesitation on it because it was duplicating some of the stuff here, but the demos alone make it worthwhile, and they're very high quality demos. So the sound quality of this is done really well, or was done really well at the time, and has been restored. So it's not off color and hard to listen to with a lot of background noise or anything like that. The demos are really good quality. So if you're a fan, I do recommend it. If you want to hear the development of the album and how it started, what these songs originally sounded like, and how they developed into this, I totally recommend it. But if not, you can always get the single version of this, or the 2. It's got the original album, but then the single disc of highlights, and you can pick that up. And this is what I originally started with, but of course fell in love so much with those band demos that I had to buy the box to get the rest of those. All right, so I hope this was fascinating and interesting. Maybe you learned something from it, and if you did, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Hope everyone has a good day, and I'll be talking to you all real soon. Take care.